Hi guys, I'm Chris the High Peak Chaplain. It's the first week in Ordinary Time, and this is BeMore. So hi guys, and welcome back to BeMore. We're back again. It's lockdown the third. I swear we must be experts at this by now. But naturally, because we are now separated, we can't all be in school. We can't all be together physically. We are resurrecting BeMore as a chance for us to come together and to reflect together on maybe the weekly theme. This is, in effect, kind of like our assemblies or our morning prayer times when we were in form time. And each week we're going to focus on the weekly theme. And this week, our weekly prayer theme is the word discipleship. Now, discipleship is the characteristic that goes along a disciple. So naturally, we think of the 12 disciples who've got Peter, James, John, Matthew, other ones. Don't tell anyone your chaplain can't name the 12 disciples, okay? That's how chaplains get sacked. And to be fair, depending on which gospel you go to, there's 12 different disciples. Anyway, carrying on. Moving on. Each of those men were chosen for a certain reason. Each of those men were chosen because they had certain characteristics. They had things that Jesus saw inside of them. That he was like, right, those are the people that can carry on my mission. Those are the people who can take this further. That can take this to the ends of the earth. And those are the people I want following me. Now what we are challenged to do is to follow their example and to see what is it that makes a disciple and how can I live up to that. Now the amazing thing is some disciples maybe never heard of Jesus. Some of the greatest disciples we know today we don't associate maybe with Catholicism, Jesus, Christianity, even religion. For example, you've got this guy. I'm a big fan of this guy. This is Marcus Rashford, for anyone who's not clued up. Now, he's a footballer for England and Manchester United. And over the summer, he made a massive difference to thousands of children by pushing the government to pay for free school meals during holidays, as well as term time. Because of this guy, some children who would otherwise have gone hungry over the summer and over Christmas and over the half terms, he made sure they had food in their bellies. He made sure they had something to eat, which is pretty amazing. You've also got this guy. This is Chadwick Boseman. He's one of my heroes personally, because he played Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, sadly, this summer, he died. But it wasn't until after he died that lots of stories started coming out about the things that he did. Like, he once ran into a fan in a library who was trying to become an actor, much like him. They spoke for all of 10 to 15 minutes. And this was a young black man who was hoping to be an actor as good and as, if you like, famous and sought after as Chadwick Boseman. Now, after Chadwick left, he then went away. But he had put a tab behind the counter at this library or bookstore, and he paid for all the books that this young man wanted and had bought him a bunch of extra books that he thought he could find useful in getting to where he needed to be. See, that was a random act of kindness from someone who didn't need to. He probably ran into fans all the time. He was a very famous person, a very good actor. But he chose to see something in this young man and be like, you know what, there's something I can do to help you. There's something I can do to positively impact your life. And then, of course, you've got this guy, probably one of the most famous of our entire lifetime currently. And this is obviously Nelson Mandela. Now, Nelson Mandela died not too long ago. But the big part of his story actually took part when I was a child, back in the 90s, when he was locked away for upwards of 20 years because he was fighting against apartheid. He was fighting against the unfairness of white people to black people in South Africa. Now, he could have come out of prison after all these years and been really, really angry. There was still a lot of tension between the black community and the white community in South Africa. There's still a lot of hurt there, and lots of people still hurting, and there's lots of fighting still. And what Nelson Mandela could have done and would have been justified in doing is coming out angry and rejoining the fight. But instead, he came out and he forgave. He forgave all the wrongs done to him and the wrongs done to his family. And he begged the people of South Africa to forgive each other. It is known as the greatest miracle of modern times that an entire nation, nearly overnight, stopped fighting and forgave each other. An entire nation chose to put away the past and to move forward together. These are just some of the examples of discipleship. Marcus Rashford fought for what he knew was right. And he used his status to help. He used what he had to fight for what was right. Chadwick Boseman chose to use his money and the things that he had to benefit someone else, to impact someone else. He didn't do it publicly. He just left some money behind a counter and chose to do the right thing at the right time. And Nelson Mandela, even after years of hurt and years of pain, chose to forgive and to move forward and to let go of the past. Right now, we are being called to be disciples. And especially now in 2021 has started off not much different to last year. We're back in a lockdown. We're back staying home, protecting the NHS and saving lives. We're back to separating to keep each other safe. Lots of 2021 looks the same as 2020. So how are you going to make it different? Even if we can make it different for one person, how are we going to make this lockdown, this year, different to last year? And not just different, better. The word disciple is defined as someone who follows someone who they believe is greater than themselves, to learn from them. Now, sometimes though, we end up following without realising. Without maybe realising these three men were being disciples of Christ. Because they were doing exactly what he would have wanted us to do. Using what we have within us. Using what we have as God-given gift to change the world and to make it better. So today, this week, when we are thinking about being disciples, what are we going to do to change the world? And in this video, I'm going to leave you with a few questions. I'd like you to have a watch of these questions, have a read of these questions, and to think about how you are going to answer them, not just now, sat in your homes or in your classrooms, watching a YouTube video. How are you going to answer them with your life? How are you going to answer them with your words and your deeds? How are you going to answer them with your Instagram accounts and your Facebook accounts and your Twitter accounts? How are you going to answer them with your face on the street, with your helping hands? How are you going to answer them with the gift that is you? So I'm Chris, the High Peak Chaplain. See you next week. God bless.